LoreWarrior Online, EGL-2M Eagle. Overview. The Eagle is Curtis Miltech's foray into the light Battlemech class, a follow-up to their highly successful and extremely popular Wraith medium mech. The Curtis designers chose to keep the Wraith's mobility, though they did make the Eagles somewhat slower to make room for weaponry. They also equipped it with a standard engine, hoping to keep down production costs and increase the mech's survivability. The Eagle's standard chassis design makes battlefield repair easier. The shipments of replacement parts that the Wraith required cut deep into profits. The original Eagle design, the EGL-1M, lacked the tag system, and when the LCCC introduced the new semi-guided LRMs that Curtis designers would then later add the tag, expecting great demand for a speedy light mech that could target for such missiles. So far, they seem to have been right, as the Free Worlds League and Capella militaries have both placed orders, many from units that already use the Wraith and feel that they can depend on a Curtis-built mech. Capabilities. Though not as fast as many mechs in its weight class, the Eagle packs quite a punch at long ranges and runs fairly cool, despite the high heat generated by its weapons. Though intended to supplement the ER large and medium lasers, the tag gear is also capable of targeting units for either Arrow 4 systems or the deadly new semi-guided missiles. Should neither be available as support for the Eagle's units, the Eagle can deal a significant amount of damage for its size with its lasers, and this mech's multiple uses makes it valuable to commanders, and its initial sales reflect this fact. Deployment. Eagles so far have been shipped to units all over the Free Worlds League, and small numbers have started to ship to the Capellan Confederation. Various Marek militia units have also received the majority, followed by Fusiliers of Orienta units. Variants. Curtis has produced a few of the original 1M design, though they are scarce. Most were slated for the Capella military, the rest scattered across the Free Worlds League. The 1M lacks the tag system and extended range medium laser. Instead, it carries an AMS system with a single ton of ammunition and an ER small. So it's another 25-tonner. Its chassis is the Curtis Eagle, its power plant is a Vlar 125, and its cruise is 54, and its max speed is 86. It has the Curtis 55 jump jets, and it has a jump capacity of 150 meters. Its armor is Calon Free Worlds League. Its armament is a Diverse Optics Sunbeam Extended Range Large and a Diverse Optics Extended Range Medium Laser. It's manufactured by Curtis Militech, and its primary factory is on Paradise. The communication system is the Curtis Com Mark II, and its targeting and tracking is the Dynatech 12B with tag. Overall, this translates then to a walk of 5, a run of 8, and a jump of 5 with 20 heat dissipation from 10 double heat sinks. It has 9 armor on the head, 12 on the CT with 3 on the rear, 10 on the right and left torsos with 2 on the rear, and it has 7 on the arms and 9 on the legs. Translates to a right arm with an ER large and a left arm with an ER medium, with the tag being located in the left torso and its 3 jump jets spread between the center torso, right and left torsos. It's, let's see, I don't dislike it immediately off the bat, seeing the picture. It's not awful. I find it interesting, the positioning of the tag laser, as it says it's in the left torso, and it's kind of pointing off in a weird direction, so I don't know if there's a suggestion that this bit that's attached to this sort of cylinder would move a little bit. Maybe it would kind of rotate independently of the upper torso of the body. I'm not quite sure. Or that the Eagle has to kind of turn itself in a particular way for the tag laser to aim. That one's a little bit of a mystery on that one, but I don't hate it, but at the same time I definitely see this being a mech that a lot of people would look at and go, nah. Visually, I mean. Its weapon system is okay. An ER large is nothing to sniff at for a 25-tonner to carry, and a backup ER medium is, it's pretty decent. It gives it good range, and as a support unit, it doesn't need to always be in the fight. So it's one of those units that can sit at the back and, do all the good stuff for your LRM carrying units. So, I could see this being in a player lance, for instance, and that player is mainly using their tag laser to help the player who's running around with the LRM-equipped mech, just, getting those sweet bonus shots on targets every single turn. And, again, as an enemy, it's a good thing to, you're building up a force and you want to create a bit of a challenge, so, you've got this mech running around and it's firing its tag laser and it's marking player targets, and then there's a couple of fire support units that are using that tag, and so it becomes a thing. I was like, well, we've got to get rid of the spotter, before we get, torn apart by these mechs, and it's obviously using its speed and its jump capability to avoid fire, and then trying to also use its tag. It creates a bit of a cat and mouse kind of game. Idea, not bad. It's nice. This is a thematic one built around the Free Worlds League. So, you're only going to really see it with them, same as we had with the Dwangung, and what did we have before that with for some reason, the Kabuto, which doesn't make any sense, because apparently, according to the writer of that one, the Curetans don't use light mechs because he's a fucking idiot, and then you had, like, the sort of the generic Cossack, but, the Cossack being a St. Ives military one, yeah, even the St. Ives got their own little light mech. How amazing is that? Because St. Ives combat get ignored all the friggin' time. So yeah, it was kind of cool that they got a look in there, and so yeah, we've got the Eagle. So I don't dislike it, as I said. Not really much else to really say about it. The write-up was actually pretty concise, and yeah, it's exactly what I could see it being used for. 25 tonners across the board so far, so each faction's had like a nice similar weight class to dive into. It just sort of expands it, spreads it out, and gives a little bit more flair and character. As I said, the only downside is it's just a shame that a lot of these designs were added in a TRO that I don't think many people really pay attention to or care about. It doesn't help the fact that, by the looks of it, even the company itself, and even in more recent times like Catalyst, don't really seem to have any interest in coming back to these designs or updating the art at the moment. Anyway, hopefully that will change. But really giving these things a bit of a facelift or just a new lease on life. It's also a bit of an odd time period as well, the 3060s, where you're just going up to the Fedcom Civil War, and then you're also starting to creep in with the jihad stuff later on. So these are supposed to be the designs that are starting to become more common, but they're kind of ignored in all the writing, where it just kind of goes back to being all the classics from the 3020 era that's all more modern than some of the stuff from the 3050s. And yeah, this TRO just it came out. I think it just slapped onto the table, and not many people paid much attention to it. And if you have it, you'll know what I mean when you go through and you see the artwork, and a lot of the units are very perfunctory, and they just don't leap out at you as being mechs that you want to use. Like, some of the art is truly laugh out loud just silly. And other parts. Others are okay, but a good number of them you just look at and go, what the fuck is that? Trust me, if you haven't seen it, look up the Yeoman if you want to see something horrendously dumb. It's definitely a mech that just doesn't make sense as far as the art is concerned. It's so stupid. But then you do end up with some highlights of it. Obviously, the cover mech itself, the Hauptmann, looks great. It's again in a kind of dumb way, but with the cigar chomping assault mech. And then you've got just kind of dopey looking things like the Taisho or the like the Toyama looks okay, and then you've got silly shit that kicks in a bit later. Obviously, I'll do LoreWarriors on these. Like the Tsang looks a bit weird. The Helios, the Marshal looks okay. The Buccaneer looks okay. You got the Enforcer 3 looks like he's on the cover box of a G.I. Joe toy, and the Cobra looks fucking stupid. Yeah, it's a rough old ride in this TRO. But anyway, that's the Eagle. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, I'll love you and leave you on that one. So have a good week, everybody. Thanks for listening. As always, I'll catch you next time for more vehicles and more mechs as we go through these TROs. Eventually, I'll get around to doing some more of the aerotech, and obviously we've got like clan battle armor to come, and I'll get to work on a LoreWarrior campaign in the future. Don't worry. It's been a rough old year, so yeah, motivation is a bit hard to come by. So. Anyway, have a good one. Bye.